The music world is filled with examples of musicians who only became legends after they passed away. Though I know it sounds a little insane, dying is actually one of the most effective ways to make your music known. Because of this, there's many cases in which an artist releases a couple of albums that get a lukewarm reception from critics and fans, then some unfortunate tragedy happens, and all of a sudden, that person is one of the biggest legends in the history of music. However, sometimes it can go the other way around. Sometimes a really good artist releases a couple of incredible albums, and the same unfortunate tragedy happens, the same success and fame follow along, but after enough time passes, people forget about the thing that made them legends. Kurt Cobain and Nirvana are probably the best example of this. It would be a little silly of me to say that they're not praised by the critics, but when it comes to their fans, things get a little confusing. Similar to what happens with someone like Freddie Mercury, most of the conversation surrounding his legacy falls on the topic of their personality, interviews, tragic fate, and overall myths about their lives. Not a lot of the conversation has to do with the man's music, and that is honestly a shame, because when it comes to Kurt Cobain, that is the #1 thing that made him a total legend. I'm not saying that people don't talk about his music at all, but I've literally had conversations with people that claim to be big fans of Nirvana and have only heard a handful of songs. 1989's Bleach, and 1991's Nevermind, and 1993's In Utero. With only 3 albums, they popularized an entire genre and set the scene for what rock music became in the late 90s and 2000s. The fusion of punk and metal, the raspy but somehow controlled vocals by Kurt, masterful percussion, there's so much to talk about when it comes to the music of Nirvana. But for whatever reason, the conversation is always about the same things: the fact that he went pew-pew on himself, his relationship with Courtney, and also Batman. Which is why I'm here to tell you that if you've ever liked one of those edits, or if you've heard the band's most popular songs, stop what you're doing right now, go to your music app of choice and listen to the albums, because I can almost guarantee it's going to blow your mind.